Hey guys, Dadtries, and today I have for you Die Cook. The meat and potatoes of Die Cook is essentially you pick your starting chef. That chef has different dice modifiers, and that's going to affect what they can actually physically roll. Each chef that you hire can roll 2 dice, and every day you get an option to purchase upgrades for your kitchen depending on how well you did and how far along you are in your restaurant. Also, from time to time, you'll get the option to hire new cooks, which add more dice so that you can handle more orders. There's modifiers that you can purchase throughout the game. For instance, you can buy a knife. That will actually let you split a dice. So for example, if you have a 6 and you drag it over to the knife, that's going to give you 2 number 3 dice. And it's simple math from there. So the hot dog, it takes 2 to cook the hot dog. So if you roll a 3 and you drop a 3 on it, it's just going to reduce it to 0 and you've cooked the hot dog and you have a happy customer. I think the highest number I needed to actually finish an order is probably like a 14 or a 15. I know it goes higher than that, and you can actually roll higher dice depending on who you have for chefs. Like I have a chef that can actually roll up to a 9 right now, so that's pretty useful. They can also roll frying pans. That's a modifier, and you can use a frying pan to complete an order or a piece of an order from no matter how high it is. If you have a 20 up there, you drop a frying pan on it and it's complete. There are also kitchen tasks that will pop up on you. For instance, one of them being you have to take the trash out. So you have to spend your dice doing that. I don't actually know what the negative implications of not taking the trash out are, except for the fact that if you have too many kitchen tasks that you haven't done and they start piling up, it'll automatically change one of your dice to a task dice. And you have to use that dice towards a kitchen task like cleaning something, and eventually you'll get to a point where you've caught up and you don't have those task dice auto-generating, and you can go back to spending all of your dice on cooking, which is where you make all your money from. You also have to manage your budget, so you have to take a look at your chef's salaries and the expense of doing business, and you have to make sure you're not going over that on a daily basis because that will cause you to lose as well. Also, the longer you have a chef cooking for you and they don't get a raise, the chefs actually start to get disgruntled and you have to give them a raise as well. If you save your money, there's things that you can buy. For instance, I have a candy machine that you can later upgrade to like one of those claw grabbing machines that just eats your money every single time you put $1 into it. You just know that you're not getting anything out of that machine and you've lost your dollar, but your kid's excited, so you do it anyways just because why not? Yeah, I got one of those and it's pretty useless. It really doesn't make a lot of money, but honestly, I ran out of things to buy, and that's kind of my problem with this game, is it's just mind-numbingly easy. You get to a point where you really don't need to even think about it. You have more dice on your screen than you have slots to drop them in, so you don't really even have to end up thinking. You just drop in dice and dragging and dropping, and then your wrist is sore because all you've done is move dice around. It needs to be harder. My first couple attempts, I fell flat on my face and failed almost immediately, but that's because I just had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I had to read the tutorial. I had to go back and figure out what it was that I was doing in order to actually get to a stable point. But once you get there and you understand the game and the core concepts and how everything works, it's just painfully easy. And he got me for $10 on this one. It's a bit much. I think this is a $5 game. I also noticed that the developer, which is 157 Game Studios, he is updating it. He just put out an update yesterday for it and tweaking some things and adjusting some things. I think he needs to go back and put an early access tag on this because it's just so obvious. It needs more testing. It needs feedback from users like myself, but it's just really easy. It's not a $10 game. It's not $10 worth of fun. I have almost 5 hours into it, and I think I'm done with it. It's too easy. There's nothing going on here for me. It is cool. You can customize your restaurant. You can customize your guy, but you never really see him anyways. You just see his little portrait. It really doesn't matter, but there's just not enough here. So that's my piece. That's my take. It does run on the Steam Deck, but it does not seem to do well with the native resolution of the Steam Deck. So it actually kind of cuts off a little bit of the screen on each side. So don't bother playing it on the Steam Deck unless you're going to dock it. I'm sure it runs fine. Docked, this game runs on a potato. But handheld mode, absolutely no way. Your thumb would get tired from dragging the dice around using the cursor. Don't do it. And seriously, not for $10. This needs to go half price, half of what it is right now. And I think I'd be a lot happier with it. And I say that because it's obvious that it still does need more work. It needs more feedback to be perfect. And there's a lot of tweaking that's going to have to happen. It's still really easy, and it's obvious that he is making adjustments because this last update that came out, that's really all it was just kind of changing some of the settings to make it a little more challenging mid-game. So my advice to you, 157 Studios, bring the price down on this, get some good feedback from Steam reviews, let the community help you out on this one. I think you need it. I think you need people to actually play and test this, but $10 is steep on this one. But one last positive note, the soundtrack is pretty good. My better half actually thought I was playing Stardew Valley, and I don't know. I think Stardew Valley has a great soundtrack, and this one's pretty near that. So I'll give you a listen at the end. And that's it. That's all I've got. I appreciate you watching. I would really appreciate a like. I would even more appreciate a comment. I love all the comments. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.